So it seems like crypto is doing nothing but going down during those last few weeks. So what am I doing? Buying or selling? What's up? My name is Caroline and this is Wealth in Progress, where you'll learn how to make passive income with cryptocurrencies. In this video, I'll talk a little about the current market situation and what I'm doing right now. I know these aren't the most fun times, so let's try to look at it in the most objective way possible. So what most people are wondering about is that the question, is this the end of the bull run? Are we diving into the bear market right here? And are we already in the bear market and these are just dead cat bounces, where it just bounces off and then it falls back down again? Now, of course, you never know what's really going to happen, and this is no financial advice, but what usually does happen is that history repeats itself. So what usually happens, what happened for the last few bull runs, was that we had sort of a blow off top where it really blew up over maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then it dropped down. Now, if you look at that, we don't have any of that. So we have a couple of upward cycles, upward correction, and now we're having a stronger correction. Now, if we're gonna look at 2017, you'll see that it looks very different. Okay, so this is still the daily chart of 2017. Now, look at that. This is just basically up and up and up for, that was from November to the end. So for for about a month, even a bit more, it just went up and up and up, almost only green days with just one correction and then the ultimate top. So this looks very different from what we're experiencing now. Now, what I believe is that the current correction that we're experiencing is most likely market manipulation. I don't know by whom exactly, but there are probably a few whales at play that want to pick up some more BTC or other cryptos at cheap prices. And so what's likely happening is that they're pushing the price down so that they can pick up more, and they want to buy those BTC and other coins from retail investors that are too afraid and that sell their crypto. Now, of course, Elon Musk and China spreading FUD aren't exactly helping the fact, but in my opinion, these aren't the main catalysts. For instance, one thing that I find really interesting is it felt like all throughout 2017, China was consistently talking about banning crypto or banning BTC, and then a few weeks later they didn't ban it after all, or it was just forgotten. So for instance, one thing that I found was that they banned ICOs in 2017, in September 2017, and that ban triggered an instant 6% decline in BTC prices. Another thing that happened in 2017 was that Chinese authorities have reportedly decided to ban the trading of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on domestic exchanges. So that was also in September 2017. And I'm not even sure if that ban still exists. I think they lifted a few bans, but maybe they even kept it up. But the thing is, nobody cares a few weeks later. And so what really, in my opinion, what usually happens is that either the Chinese government wants to pick up more BTC, or they just want to spread FUD to make their own digital currency, their own digital yuan stronger. But what I could really imagine happening is that they're spreading FUD now, and then probably a few years down the road they'll probably take all those bans away, because let's be honest, they can't ban Bitcoin. They're just banning the things around Bitcoin because either they're afraid or they just want to profit themselves. So to me, I just can't really take those news seriously anymore, because I've just experienced them all throughout 2017, and now it just feels like a copy of that. It just feels like all this FUD is coming up again, but nothing really happened. I mean, prices still rose up. So I just always try to take those news with a grain of salt and not put too much weight on those. Now, as you probably all know by now, I'm a huge Cardano fan, and I've even did a video about Cardano potentially breaking a big resistance a few weeks ago. And if we look at ADA USD, so we're here on the daily chart of ADA USD, and I did the video on, I think it was June 3rd, where Cardano was just at that resistance of about 180. And unfortunately, up until this point, it held relatively strong in comparison to BTC, so we can quickly look at that as well. So you can see June 3rd, so even a few days more, it was relatively strong in comparison to Bitcoin. but now it gave in as well. So that was a bit of a disappointment. I was hoping that it was staying strong just because we know that all of those good news about the Alonso fork are coming out. Smart contracts will be able to launch on Cardano once the Alonso fork is completed, and that's expected to happen in September. So I was hoping that based on this news and all the other good news that Cardano is bringing out, that it could be stronger, but unfortunately it gave in as well. And now what we're seeing is that it's declining and it's basically following Bitcoin's move again. So if we go back to ADA USD, so yeah, from here on it basically just went down, which is a bit sad to see. But so for me, so that this is what it all comes down to. For me, of course, I find it painful as well to watch that fall. But for me, I am in this for the long run. I believe in Cardano for the long run. I believe that we're just in the beginning of all of this. It feels a bit like the internet in the very early days, where you could just send an email, where this was all just coming up. I feel like we're standing at this point, and those short-term corrections or those short-term price movements don't really matter if you look at the grand scheme of things. So me personally, I'm in this for the long run. I still believe that this is just a longer correction and that we're still in a bull market. But maybe the end of the bull market won't be in January 2022, but maybe it will take a few months longer. We don't know that, but even if it doesn't happen this or next year, we will see a dramatic increase in price a few years down the road. I'm pretty sure about that. Once we have smart contracts on Cardano and once this all runs smoothly, Cardano will be used. There will be more scarcity in the market because more projects use Cardano, and at the same time more Cardano is staked. So I'm really not too worried about those corrections because I also see this as a chance to accumulate more. So what I've just done is I've accumulated a bit more at, let's take a look at the hourly chart, at $1.12. So about here, I think it was here, and then it dropped further, and then I wanted to buy more at $1.03, but I saw it a bit too late, and then it just started pumping up, so I missed that, unfortunately. Now we can see we have some good volume coming in, and we've had 3 strong green candles, but what will likely happen is, because it's still under those 20-hour and 50-hour moving averages, so these will probably be some resistances. So it might test those areas, but then I don't think it will blow it through it immediately, especially if Bitcoin is still going down as it is right now. But overall, I just see these times as opportunities to pick up more, and I don't plan to sell any of my Cardano in the near future. So in my opinion, the best thing to do is always DCAing in, so that means dollar cost averaging, and so you can either tell yourself, okay, you're gonna buy each month or each week at a certain time, a certain day, and no matter what the price is, you're just going to buy, and in the long term you will have the best buying prices for sure, because this way you don't overthink it and you don't think, oh, it could go lower and then I'll buy, but you're just buying in. And if you're in it for the long run, this is the best strategy. Or what you can also do is, if you see a few red days, so if we look at the daily again, so if you just see it has dipped dramatically, and for instance it's falling below those moving averages on the daily, that's also a good time to buy. So that's what I'm currently doing. I haven't DCA'd in for quite a while. I've done that during the last bear market, and now I've basically just waited. But then if I see a good opportunity like this, then I buy in a little more. Okay, so this has been the quick update on the current market situation and on what I'm doing about it. Hopefully you haven't been too freaked out about it, because usually if it's red, that's not the best time to sell. So even if you want to sell your position, it's better to wait for a green day. But otherwise, being a long-term hodler is always the best solution. So just use those times and profit from them in terms of buying more if you're interested in that. Of course, this is no financial advice, but if you're in it for the long run, I think these are great prices to get in. If it drops even lower, even better, you can pick up even more. How do you see the current situation? Are you freaked out by it, or are you appreciating it because you can buy more? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, hit the like button down below, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!